Ruminating about a honeymoon for taking a new surname. 8 September 2025 by me, Tanis. I'm Tanis Coralee of Seattle, and today's Monday, 8 September 2025. And here I ruminate about a stabilization process for taking a new surname that includes travel to the region from which the surname originated. I was approximately 33 years of age when I filmed this video on Monday, 8 September 2025. So this is following up on a stabilization process. So I kind of started ruminating about this a number of days ago. I made a video, and one of my things was like, can I come up with a term for it? And I was like, perhaps the correct term is a honeymoon. Can think of it as like, okay, to take the new surname and to become familiar with the name. Perhaps something, this is kind of what I came up with, is a multi-day, multi-night in country/region trip to country/region from which the surname comes, so from which it originated, with the person who originally had the surname and the person who acquired the surname. So this was thinking through with my soulmates. Say I marry my soulmate and they take my surname, so then we would go to the region of origin of this surname that the surname came from, to become familiar with it. And so perhaps the thing to think about is, so if I start with my own, so kind of like go sequentially in terms of taking surname, is it in-person interaction, that kind of stuff. I'll start with my own. If I am Tanis Gillespie, the trip would be to Ireland. And so, as if it was, because I've been living my life as not as Tanis Gillespie, that would be then, even if it is my birth name, there's still, it's taking a surname in the sense of a public sense, and like it'd be there's still a process there of like name restoration. It's still taking a new surname. And so it's like, oh, so then what's the biggest deal, I suppose? How about scheduling? So from starting with my own, and I am Tanis Gillespie, the trip would be to Ireland, and scheduling as soon as possible priority is once I have the corresponding documentation and am functional in my name. So that's like, okay, I've seen that I'm Tanis Gillespie and I'm living as Tanis Gillespie. So I give myself the allowance to go to Ireland for this trip before my Ireland heritage travel trip, if/as applicable. I was like, that's a great one to invoke. So my heritage travel trip series is about, you know, kind of going and traveling to, going and traveling to the lands of my ancestors and getting a feel for it being home, because that's where I come from before me, and originally, ancestral origins. And the spirit, at least of what I've already executed, is solo and really making sure it's a home for me. And this one, it's kind of a little, so this honeymoon, so for me and or my soulmates, is about, it's kind of like the other end of the spectrum, on the home spectrum. It's about, I am part of the Gillespie clan. I am part of the blank namespace, that, you know, kind of thing, a thing. So it's about, instead of like solo traveling for 2 to 4 weeks, you know, it could be a few days, a few nights, doing what I need to feel at home in the name and the people, the family, kind of thing. Even if it's just Irish pub after Irish pub. I don't know what the itinerary would be. Okay. But my point there is the spirit of it is kind of on more of the community focus and name and that kind of thing, as opposed to like solo traveling the country/region. And so then I'm like, well, so for me, if I start with myself and I am Tanis Gillespie, you know, once that name is restored and or changed, right? If I changed to Tanis Gillespie, does Josh come with me? Do Josh and Lewis come with me? Like, you know, maybe they wanted to go on the heritage travel trip, but maybe what they really wanted is, we want to be first, or I want to be first. And this is even like, right? that would, while each of my guys may get a trip, there's only one first for me of the honeymoon for me taking a surname and like staying, you know. So, you know, it's like, they're like, but I would be so honored to be that one or two that I get to go with you, if you take somebody. So I was like, okay, so there's a distinction there of it's different than the Heritage Travel Trip series, and I would allow it to happen before the corresponding Heritage Travel Trip series trip, be it Ireland or something else, or something else. There's one surname, and yeah, so there we go. Yeah, that's ruminating about a honeymoon for taking a new surname, 8 September 2025. For me, Tanis, she, hers of Seattle, and I came up with the term honeymoon.